So today I'm going to do a slightly different kind of recording for you. Usually it's just a comedic response to a story or me out in a woodland somewhere. But today I'm going to do a proper video with a voiceover. So I received my package from Atlantis Miniatures this morning. It came very quickly. I ordered it over the bank holiday weekend, so I was surprised to see it this morning. Atlantis Miniatures is a UK company, independent miniature company, and they've got lots of great fantasy-based sculpts. Mythical creatures, dwarves, orcs, trolls, goblins, that kind of thing. I've had my eye on them for a while, but never jumped in. I can be a bit cautious when it comes to independent miniature companies. I've backed a few Kickstarters that kicked me, really, so I never backed the Kickstarters, but couldn't help myself when I saw the ogres they had, and I was bored on my lunch break at work. So I'm going to do a bit of a rundown, bit of a review, and then I will build the big guy so you can see how he looks. So I bought the Ogre King. Some focus. You can see it's all resin miniatures. Fairly decent hunk of resin. Nice and solid. No soft details. There are no bubbles. The mold lines were fine. Nothing. I couldn't fault a thing, really. I've started to clean up the lines. Get ready to build him. I've washed him in warm soapy water like you should do with resin. And he's almost ready to go, really. See the detail. His happy face. Nice contrasting textures. Nice texture on the cloak. Sword on the back. Lots of fur. Beaten up metal. It's nice. There's lots of flesh, which is nice. See lots of good ogre painters. Get the tattoos out on that. I'm usually too scared to, but might try this time. See how close it'll let me focus on his face. You can see the detailing's definitely not soft. It's got a lot of definition. It's a lot to work with, which I can't fault. He's not overly detailed, which is nice. A lot of new miniatures, they've got too many details, little bits, I find anyway. So I quite like the blank canvas. So, weapon-wise, comes with a big hammer, quite traditional. As with any resin, it did come slightly bent. So you just use the old hot water trick, bend it back, cold water to hold the shape, and it's fine. Say, nice and simple. Nice texture on the sledgehammer, nice texture on the metal and fur. Folded. Also comes with a nice pre-sculpted textured base. Now, this isn't really to my taste. I like a blank canvas. I like to do my own thing. But I will use it. I mean, it looks great. Yeah. A lot of texture on rock. Doesn't look like rock. This looks great. A moorland or volcanic ridge. There's a lot you can do with it. The only thing is, that is a 40mm base. Now, the Ogre Tyrant, which is what most people would proxy that for, goes on a 50mm. So, slight issue, but you can just mount this on a 50mm and get creative around the edges and be fine. That's probably what I'm going to do, or run him as a man-eater. It's not really an issue. So the resin is nice and solid. I've had issues in the past with bendy, weak, bubbly resin, so I'm always a little bit cautious. But no, this came out fine. Absolutely fine. So there's not much I could fault him for. Aesthetically, slightly different than your Games Workshop ogres. He's not quite as fat. Not quite as fat. I'll show you a scale comparison when he's built up, but the scales match really nicely. But he'll definitely stand out as being slightly different, but not in a bad way. He'll stand out instead of just falling in with the ranks. The other thing that's nice, I did mention this before, is the actual beard and fur looks like a beard and fur. It doesn't just look like bits of random texture on the face, which tends to happen. So I'll get this guy built up now and be back with you in a moment. So while he's drying now, I thought I'd just show you a scale comparison of him next to a Games Workshop Tyrant. As you can see, they do have very, very similar size qualities. He stands a bit taller because he's on the rocky outcropping, but the heads are about the same size. I think he might have slightly shorter arms but longer legs. It's a good fit. It will mesh with anyone's ogre army really well. And if not, it worked great in D&D, Pathfinder, any RPG you've got. As I said before, the only issue is the base. The bases are different. And like I said, I'd mount them on a bigger base and sculpt up the edges with a textured paint or green stuff and work it in. I think it would look fine. I'd always advise people, if they've never worked with resin before, that they take their time. So this didn't take me too long to put together, but I've been working with resin for quite a few years. You need to wash it with soapy water. You need to use super glue. And you just need to treat it with a bit more respect than you would plastic. Resin's got more rules. If you don't treat it properly, you'll ruin it. It won't stick, you'll get annoyed. So always take your time. Make sure it's washed. Make sure you're using the right glue. Plastic glue will not work. That works by melting the plastic. It won't do a thing with this. Just gum it up. So here we are with the finished piece, the big guy himself. Some focus. All done on his little rocky outcropping, surveying battlefield, a village raid. Who knows? Who knows what's going inside that head? So it's a good idea of what you're getting for £15. I don't think that's too bad. Same size as the Games Workshop Tyrant. I don't think that's a terrible price at all for a larger miniature. Not in this day and age anyway. You'll struggle to get a decently sculpted miniature from a bigger company at that price anyway. It said £15 It came in a matter of days over a bank holiday. 3 pieces altogether. They went together lovely. All I gotta do is paint him now and hope he doesn't end up on my pile of eternal shame. And if you've gotten this far in the video, I am very thankful. I've probably rambled. I've never really done this before. It's just a foray into something new. So, thank you very much. Wow. Well, yeah, it's not going to focus. Thank you very much. And hopefully see you when he's painted.